Hi, this is Scott with Android Guys. I'm here with Luke.
Hey.
Luke, how are you this afternoon?
Good.
You want to share an app review with us today?
Yeah. I'm talking about a game. Sorry about that. I am talking about a game called Hyperforma. This is made by HeroCraft Limited. The same company, I talked about it a while ago, the Warhammer 40K game. Same company makes this game. Completely different kind of games. It's $4.99 for the premium version, or free, or it's free with the Play Pass.
Okay.
So they have a free version and they have a paid version. The free version, you have not quite as many levels, and there are ads.
Okay.
The free version gets you, no ads, and there are more levels to play through. And this game is cool. It's a it's a puzzle game, I guess, is how I would say it. The idea is you are this little ball of light that bounces around the screen, kind of like those the little Flash arcade games where you have to shoot the ball and hit squares and knock them out and then get to the middle.
Yeah.
It's that same idea, except the blocks that you're trying to bust out are full 3D view rotatable. So you can rotate this around and get different angles, which will give you different access with that little ball of light to go into the middle. You're usually trying to hit the middle block.
Okay.
And that will win the level. The other thing that happens, though, is at a certain angle, you can hit a button and it will go straight to the middle from wherever the ball is at that point. So you can kind of take a shot, essentially.
Okay.
So you can rotate the puzzle around and essentially try and shoot for the middle. And as you progress in the levels, you get different power-ups, and there's different types of blocks. So you'll need a certain power-up to defeat a certain type of block. And it's just a puzzle game. It's really interesting the way that you have that 3D rotation and 3D view of the puzzle to change it. And, if you rotate it 90 degrees, it's almost a completely different puzzle. It's pretty cool. The thing that's really cool about the game is the audio. So it's one of those games where you'll boot it up and it'll say, for best experience, use headphones. Mm-hmm. And it is a very, very good sounding game. The sound effects for when you're bouncing around and the sound effects for when you go in and hit the middle are awesome. The music's really cool. It's kind of like this futuristic kind of styled game where you're trying to unlock more secrets of time, kind of abstract-ish, futuristic thing. But the gameplay is really fun. It's different enough with the different power-ups that you want to keep playing and keep going. The design of the levels is very similar from it'll be there's 10 levels, but within those levels are 10 different puzzles to solve. So you'll go through, but each step are different. It's the color palette changes. The overall design aesthetic stays the same, but it'll change the color palette. Kind of like how old school Tetris did. After you hit so many levels, all the blocks change colors.
Right.
It's the same idea. But it's cool. It's one of those that it's the only thing I think that I have a hard time with in wrapping my head around it, and I've been playing it for a while now, probably a good month almost now. It's still strange to rotate the puzzle and then also tap. I feel like you want to rotate with both fingers on two fingers on each hand, but then you also have to press to shoot your player at the certain angle to go into the middle. So it's a little bit weird on how the controls work for me. but I think, I think it might just be a me thing. I don't think it's a design flaw necessarily. It's an interesting type of gameplay that I haven't interacted with before, so I think maybe it's part that.
Do you have the ability to replay levels that you've already
so
completed?
As you go through, you'll kind of like get a certain amount of stars like to beat the level, but then there's also these things called keys that you can collect in each level, and those are certain blocks, have keys on them, and so you can beat the level by just hitting the middle and then move on to the next one. But if you unlock all of the keys in each level, you get more things later in the game, and the ability to get better power-ups and stuff like that. So there is a lot of reward for going back and beating everything in the level.
Sure. Okay.
But yeah, it's a cool game. It's really interesting. It's one of those ones that I guess if you've ever seen there was a game that was like a shadow game where you're looking at a silhouette of an object, and if you rotate the object, you're looking at the shadow of an object, and if you rotate objects in the foreground to make the shadow, it's like you finish the level.
Yeah.
It's like that idea mixed with those brick breaker type games.
Okay.
So it's kind of a cool idea. But yeah, that's essentially it. There's really not much more besides that. There is the ability for in-app purchases to get different power-ups and stuff like that. But I've found so far that I haven't really needed any of that kind of stuff.
You think it just fast tracks to unlock certain things?
Yeah, it gives you the ability to get other things faster, but I don't think you necessarily need to. There's no, not that I've seen anyway, there's no public leaderboards or trying to beat other people or, any need for trying to get things faster than other people, but there might be. I just haven't run into that yet. But yeah, that's about it.
Cool. You want to put some ratings on
sure.
categories?
Yeah.
Let's start with features.
Features is it's going to be a 3.5. So it's cool in that it has this new style of gameplay, kind of a mix between those two different ideas, the brick breaker and the spatial 3D puzzle. And there are more levels if you especially in the premium version. But once you get there, there's really not much more besides that. So it's some cool gameplay, cool features, but nothing for me that would stand out as it's better than average, but nothing that's like blows me away. So it's a 3.5.
Okay. Graphics.
Graphics, I'm gonna give it a 4.5 on graphics.
Ooh.
It's a really, really cool design style. It's really geometric, but there's a lot of texture. There's a lot of particle effects. There's a lot of color flash and stuff. It's a very cool looking game, and it's very visually interesting. There's some. As you're going through the levels or going through the quote-unquote story, there's some 3D movement in it too. It's cool.
And audio?
Audio is also a 4.5.
Okay.
This game is focused, I think, more on audio, the audio experience for the player. The gameplay is solid, but the audio is really fantastic.
Definitely recommend with earbuds or headphones.
Yeah.
Cool. Replay value?
Replay value, I would say a 4 because it does have all of the different kinds of levels, but then also all of the keys to unlock in each level. So you're going to be spending a lot of time trying to get the certain challenges done per level. So there's a lot of game there to go through.
All right, and wrap that up with ads, notifications.
Ads and notifications, it's a 3, and I think that's mostly for me because there is a free version and a paid version. If you have the free version, you are watching a couple ads between different things, but for the paid version, there's really no ads at all. So I think that's a 3 because, I see the need for a free app to have ads. They got to make their money, but the ability for them to give you an option for purchasing and getting rid of ads, that's nice. So
that averages out to a 3.9.
It's pretty good. It's a good game.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Pretty high.
Especially if you like a different style puzzle game. Mm-hmm. I think this will keep your interest and at least give you, something different to do for a while.
Right on. And again, the name of that was?
Hyperforma.
All right. Thanks, Luke.
No problem.